Hi there, my name is Daniel Pirelli and I'm here today to introduce myself as a young and passionate teacher looking for work at your school. I'm a prior Adelaide University student with my Bachelor of Popular Music degree and Masters of Teaching degree. As a teacher, I specialise in music and PE. My goal as a teacher is being able to feed my knowledge to as many students as I can and make learning enjoyable so students are engaged in the subject matter. I'm aware that the school is a regional area and has a significant makeup of 40% First Nation and migrant students. Coming from a school like Glenunga International, it has taught me to acknowledge and respect different cultures. My values have always reflected inclusivity and empathy for diverse cultures. In this podcast, I'll be focusing on First Nation people, which make up 20% of the school population. Aboriginal people are very community and family orientated, having a deep spiritual connection with the land. Due to loss of their homelands, Aboriginal people have experienced cultural loss, lack of identity, and inability to participate in cultural activities. First Nations people experience more difficulties with employment, access to health services, and sufficient housing. This can contribute to less income and in some cases poverty. For some First Nations students, English might not be their first language and they may struggle with communicating with peers and teachers, having major impact on their learning. Furthermore, not only will their learning be compromised, but their well-being might experience a gradual decline as they begin to start feeling isolated and uncomfortable in the learning environment. A study conducted by the Parliament of Australia suggests that 30% of First Nations households are in income poverty, which is approximately 120,000 Indigenous people living below the poverty line. This impacts First Nations students as they might not have the money to afford uniform, recess, lunch, stationery, instruments and devices. This does not only have huge impact on their well-being, but in a learning environment they will not succeed as well as other students as they will not have the same resources and devices to help them complete their work. In a music learning environment, I would be open-minded with the topics that we would study. I'll specifically allocate a session where we would look at the music and artists of First Nations. In the lesson, I would show the class songs which would be sung in their mother tongue language. I would also run through some of the instruments that are used in their music. I also want to find out what they are interested in and devise a program where these ideas can be shared in class. As a teacher, I want to make sure each student has equal opportunities to learn. I would also make sure my teaching method includes group work so all the students can use the school resources. These strategies would help make these students feel less isolated and feel more included in the learning environment. Access to resources will ensure each student maximises their learning. Organising group work will allow First Nations students to use social and communication skills. These include collaboration, creativity, storytelling, and time management. This will allow them to acquire more knowledge of their own culture, but also make them feel engaged with the learning.